I can never really tell if
Yep.
it's. I mean, it says it goes live, but I don't really know if it's real or not. Like, how do you know for sure?
There we
Okay.
are. Look.
Okay, so we are. Okay. Hello. If anybody's, it says we got one person here, so just want to say hello. What we thought was going to happen today ended up not happening today. We may be off of our game completely. We legit. So, what a day, sports fans. Let me just start with saying that. What a day. Talk about April Fool's Day. So, lunchtime, he calls me, everything's good. Then he calls me back a little bit later and says, that some stuff happened, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, to get here, we legit left the hospital. Well, first we went to urgent care, who then sent us over to the hospital, and we are now sitting and waiting for a phone call to find out if it's broke. So we legit left the hospital and come home, jumped in the shower, and here we are. So yeah, what a day.
What a day. It's been busy.
Yeah. So like I said, we are completely off our game, so forgive us. Yeah, it's probably going to be a short one tonight. But I put it on here that we were going to be on here, so if I said it, I'm doing it. So yeah. Okay. So the title says gardeners versus growers, and um, it's April Fool's Day, so the this popped up on my Facebook, and I was just like, if we're gonna do Thursday live and it's April Fool's, this kind of goes right in with it. But anyway, it says if it thunders on April Fool's Day, it brings good crops of corn and hay. So it made me think about the difference between gardeners versus growers. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Um, you know, the farmers and wives' tales and stuff like that. Um, they there's all kinds of sayings. So, okay, first of all, I guess I should say what I consider to be a gardener, um, and then what I consider to be a grower, and then I think there's people that are kind of in between. Um, I will say I do not consider myself a gardener. I consider myself more of a grower. So, how do I distinguish it? I would say, oh, you better check that in case that's the hospital. Um, so, for me, I consider gardeners like, I don't know, I guess you'd say a little more educated than what I am. Um, they have like the scientific backing of, and they know the scientific reasons why they do this or do that or plant this or plant that. What is it?
Doing things different live right now.
Not the doctor yet. So, um, yeah, I don't even know where I was at.
Gardeners,
Gardeners
growers.
versus growers. Okay, so I feel like a gardener is somebody that has like the knowledge, like the scientific knowledge of, why you grow a certain thing, or, how this is done and how that's done, or why it's done, why you use this, why you use that. And then I think there are people like me that are growers. And I put a garden out simply because I want the food. So, yeah, I there's no science behind it. Sometimes I get lucky and we do well, sometimes not so well. So, yeah, and I feel like growers kind of lean more towards like the old wives' tales and the farmers and things like that. So yeah, and you hear all kinds of things, and really, in all honesty, for me, I've found a lot of them to be true. Um, like weather,
Yeah.
like I don't,
Like the moon.
yeah, you plant things. If it's underground,
Right.
you plant it when it's the dark of the moon, and if it's like, then that'd be like potatoes and onions and garlic, stuff like that. But if it's like a plant that's like above ground, it's supposed to be planted when the moon is getting light,
Yeah.
the light of the moon, and then there's, let's see what else. Oh, like the spring signs, you know, um, like for me, I feel like, hey, Michael's Adventures, how are you doing?
Hi, Michael.
Um, Michael, are you a gardener or a grower, do you think? We were talking about what we think the difference is. Gardeners, I think, are like more intellectually knowledgeable of like how the science behind growing things
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And then I
Absolutely.
think there's people like me that are just growers, and you just put it in kind of when you think is the best time, or trying to grow the best and see what happens, kind of like a, yeah.
I remember as a kid, they had, we'd put a fence post in. We couldn't put them in unless the moon was right. I remember that too, because Dad would say they would push up out of the ground.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay. So we always had stuff like that. I guess that kind of the right times to garden, the right times to do certain things in the yard.
Yeah, and I
I don't,
feel like that's more what growers. Hey, Willow Cove Croft, how you doing?
thanks for coming in.
Don't know how this works. Put seeds in dirt and get excited when something comes up. That's me. It's like I kind of just do what I think is right, or what I've heard is right, and then just kind of go, ooh,
Hi, Scott the gardener.
no, that's not gardener. It's gardener.
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 He
Ooh,
sounds like a fancy
he's a
gardener.
well. Ask him. He's a gardener.
Well, he says he is. He said that he would say he is a gardener.
Really?
Yeah. So, but with a name like that, that sounds like a fancy gardener.
He is a fancy gardener.
Like, okay. So what kind of, other than obviously the April Fool's thing popping up, and that like wives' tale of it, um, we was talking to somebody about azaleas, and how you always plant azaleas with tomatoes. And somebody had asked me, well, why do you plant azaleas, or not? Why am I saying azaleas?
I don't know.
Marigolds.
There we go.
Well, anyway, you always plant marigolds with your tomatoes, and they was asking me, well, why do you plant marigolds with tomatoes? And I said, because my mom always did, and I mean, she always had a good garden, so I'm gonna do what mom did. So yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look what he said.
Hey, Lori's World.
Hi, Lori's World.
I I know I'm putting you on the spot, but do you see? I got a banner
Right there.
right there.
Because we watched Tech
Because
Tuesday.
we watched Techie Tuesday.
Techie Tuesday.
You guys want to learn about stuff that I can't explain to you? Lori's World, she did a Techie Tuesday, and so yeah.
Oh.
Yay! Thank you. Hey, Britton Farms, how you guys doing?
Hi, Hickory Croft. Thanks for coming in.
Hickory Croft's here too. But so Lori's World, um, I'm gonna try it because you're here. So I'm hoping you can like see. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring up a guest because I've never done that before. So Lori, would you mind coming up to to talk and see if I can actually do this.
And tell Mima always said hi.
Yeah, tell me my hi. She is so sweet.
Oh.
See, marigolds are supposed to keep certain bugs off plants.
Yeah.
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 Like, but I didn't know why I did it. You know, like there was no science behind why I did it. It was just, because my mom did. So that's what I did. So I feel like that's what makes me more of a grower than a gardener because, okay.
Nope.
Let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
Thanks for coming in, MB Heritage.
Hey, MB. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
Aw.
we are still learning.
Post layout.
We are still learning.
Okay. Now I know she told us how to do this. I am so sorry, everybody. But I've got her in here. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how.
Gotcha.
She pushed something, and I'm supposed to be able to get something and put it over in the chat.
Don't ask me. I am not a technical person.
You watched it with me.
If it's not nuts and bolts, I'm not retaining.
Oh, I don't. Click invite. I don't see an invite. Where is invite? Do you see it?
I do not. I do not.
Let's see. Mike, Cam, guest. Would it be guests? There it is. Invite a guest. Okay. Copy to clipboard. Copied. Okay. Now.
See, she was paying attention.
Yeah. You got smart people. You got to take advantage of that. Especially when you know you're not going to be one to figure it out. Did I do that right?
We shall soon see.
I poked you in the eye. Sorry, Willow.
Today we were talking about gardeners and growers.
Yeah, if you're a little late, I want to apologize. We're a little off of our game because somebody decided that
I'm on the injured list.
Yeah.
I'm on the bench. I think you got
Hey, Mary's Ranch. Ooh, there's supposed to be a big. Oh, there's a red button.
Oh, yeah.
Add to stream. I'm pretty sure that's what I do.
Invite.
There you have it.
I did it!
Well done. Well done.
I'm telling you, if Lori can teach me something like this, like technology-wise, she can teach anybody. So go to her channel, check her out, subscribe, because wow, you taught me something. And
Techie Tuesday, look, you're an old pro now.
that is hard to do.
Yeah, the other night she said, okay, we got to get this done, do this. But Lori's World was on at, I can't remember what time, but we're catching it, watching it. I'm learning
I had my notebook and everything, and I was just like, okay.
Nice. I think that's been my most useful lesson so far has been this
and I am very grateful because yeah.
Well, you are very welcome.
So our thing for tonight is gardeners versus growers. And I consider myself a grower because I feel like gardeners are I don't want to say that they're smarter because I don't want to put growers down, but I feel like gardeners have like the scientific, like the knowledge of how and why things work. So do you think you're a gardener or a grower?
Oh, no, I would definitely be a grower using that definition because I don't have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to the garden. Techie, I'm okay with, but garden, I know nothing.
Well, somebody had asked me about tomatoes, and I had told them, that, yeah, I started the seeds and stuff like that. And they was like, well, what do you do with your tomatoes? And I was like, well, I put them in the ground, and I plant marigolds with them. They was like, well, why do you do that? And I was like, because my mom always did. It worked for her, and I've always done it and it worked for me. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So,
There you go.
Thanks,
but
Britton Farms. We appreciate it.
thank you.
Hi, Britton Farms.
But I was like, really, it really made me think, why do I do half the stuff that I do?
Yeah.
And it was like, well, because I'm a grower and I don't know because that's
That's
what
what
I'm.
they said I should do. When I
Yeah,
looked at the video on how to grow tomatoes,
yeah.
it said plant marigolds
I'm
nearby.
one of those
So,
people.
Exactly.
I'm not even like, I don't even think to like look it up ahead of time. It's like I hear, you know, like my grandpa did this or, my
Right.
mom did that or,
Oh,
like, where you just put down some cardboard and some mulch and everything. Well, I had to wait a day before we could put everything down because, I was always told that when the moon gets full and it starts going down, that's when you lay things down to kill the grass underneath. So that's like the dead period. So
okay.
I waited, and it's like, does it work? I don't know. Does
I
it?
don't know. Did it work?
I,
We
I
don't
don't
know
know.
yet.
I don't know. You can throw a piece of cardboard on the ground. If it's the wrong time of the moon, the grass grows.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean,
Okay.
if they tell you stuff and it's like, I mean, I'll
Huh.
say it.
I don't know. Maybe the moon makes the cardboard more transparent.
I
I don't
don't.
know.
I don't know. And that's the whole thing is like, is there any science to it? Maybe,
Maybe
but I'm
science
not there.
fiction. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good knowledge, even if you don't know why. That's good because half the time it's just like, I like even doing the YouTube channel, I do videos and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, I hope nobody looks at me and is trying to figure out, oh, that's why, because it's like, I don't know if it's going to work, you know,
This is just what we do.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Like we did the video on the hugelkultur beds. And,
Hmm.
I know there's like science to it, but I don't know. I know the wood is gonna rot and it's gonna put stuff in the dirt and it's gonna help things grow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I
I don't know
can't
why, but
I can't tell you what the stuff is. I can't tell
yeah.
you how it does it. I don't know the breakdown composition.
The molecules, the
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even
Well, and
tell
then
you.
there's like Jason Avers, who is definitely, by your definition, a gardener, because that man knows what he is talking about, right?
Yes.
And Chicken Johnny, he's
Yes.
another one who would definitely
yeah.
be a gardener.
Yeah.
Well, I watched Bull's Garden and
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
had done he had cut the bottoms out of a bucket and was planting his tomatoes in it. And I was just like,
Okay.
why do you do that? And he answered it, and I can't remember how, like, again, I'm not smart enough to figure that out, but
Oh, now come on.
he's like, he explained it, very good as to basically like so that the roots stay tight and they'll go deeper and
Okay.
you'll get more to come up into the plant. I mean, he
Interesting.
did a whole lot better than I can. That's
The
the
gist of it, though. Yeah.
AV means Angie's version, so that's the AV.
Okay.
Look.
He lost me there.
Mary's Ranch says she's definitely a grower.
Definitely a grower. Yeah.
Definitely a grower.
For me, I think half of it's the fun of it is just to see if it works.
Yeah.
Like we did the hugelkultur bed. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try 4 different things in the 4 different beds,
Yeah.
and then win, lose, or
See what
draw.
happens.
I
Yeah.
put it. I'll
I'm
even,
always just so surprised when anything actually grows that, if I put a seed in the ground and it actually sprouts, like that to me is phenomenal. And anything after that is gravy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Win.
I'm out there doing the happy dance.
I know, right?
Look what I did.
Exactly. I have some baby radishes.
I can honestly tell you this year, I have never grown a seed in my life until this year. And
Nice.
I put some onions in the ground or in the starter boxes, and I was all happy, and no, not the first daggone thing come up. I thought, oh, it's a fail. I can't grow nothing. I'm done. Because we'll try to grow some pepper plants, and we'll see what we can do. Well, I put a bunch of peppers in. I put like 50 seeds in, and every one of them peppers came up.
Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna have peppers everywhere.
Peppers everywhere.
Hot peppers. We got all kinds. We got all kinds of peppers growing.
Nice.
Oh, look at that! You even put the.
I know.
Look at.
Do you see that, Lori?
I see that. I'm impressed.
You did that. You taught me that.
You educated us.
Woohoo!
They're talking about going down the rabbit hole because I'm that way. Like I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a nerd when it comes to like research kind of thing. So I'll end up spending 5 hours looking something up and then not even really know everything that I read because I was just too busy learning more and more and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say your favorite grower surprise was? Like you kind of didn't know if it was going to work and then, oh wow, it did.
Well, I have tomatoes that actually have fruit on them inside my house.
All right.
And that was quite surprising to me. And I have ground cherry too that's just loaded with ground cherries inside my house. So that was kind of surprising. I was happy to find out that I could grow inside.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That plant's pretty big too.
It is, that tomato plant.
Yeah.
But like I planted that in December for to see if I could get something to grow and fruit inside. So.
And it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win. It's a win. For a win.
I wish we had a south window because the south side of our house is all garage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like we have no south window, which is
well, I do have some grow lights too in the other room. I have some grow lights that we picked up. They're not really very good, but they're doing the job for now.
It must be working. You got fruit.
Yeah. They're doing better than the ones I didn't have before. So.
Yeah. If you didn't have any before, then obviously you're a lot better off now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank Willow Croft. I think she does a great job explaining it too. I think she does a good job.
Well,
I think she did too. Yeah.
In my head, it's like I always say that I need a translator because I know what I'm thinking, but sometimes it doesn't really come out. And
she speaks Anjanese.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. I can decipher for that for anybody in here. If anybody
needs a translator.
That's right.
If I stay on and I talk too much, he will definitely have to translate.
Well, thanks Hickory Croft on the peppers. It was a win.
Pete's
hey,
yeah,
Pete.
sure. Hi,
How
Pete.
are you? Ain't heard from you in a while.
I am going to see if I can do this again, just because. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Be careful, you're going to poke Scott in the eye.
I am going to put what's that called again?
Link.
The link. Yeah, there we go. I feel like such a show off. My teacher's here and I'm showing off.
Are you kissing up to the teacher?
Yeah.
Look at you doing so good.
Oh, well, she's doing a great job. She always does a wonderful job.
There you go.
Got it again.
Yeah, that worked. Next, you got to learn how to share your screen.
We don't know how to do that. Thanks, Mary's Ranch. We appreciate that. don't know. That may be
Apparently
another
it's
tech too.
different too. You must be on a tablet or something, eh?
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. Let's see. Did I do it
Hi,
again?
John.
Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, I'm gonna poke somebody in the eye again.
You know, I don't think that's the right
I
button.
don't think that is the right button.
You can't put people in timeout.
I'm trying to get that one. Well, that one popped up easy. All I did was
Hello,
click.
Will It Grow? How are you?
Hey, John, how you doing? So, Pete, you have been missed. And then I seen that comment. How is everything? Are you okay? We are praying for you that it is going to be a good report Monday.
Yes, and I agree with that. It will be a good report.
So, we're talking about the gardeners versus growers. I put a link in there, didn't I? Did I do that right?
Mhm.
Okay, the link is up there. So obviously I'm a grower, and Lori has said that she's a grower. Do we have? Well, I know we have a gardener because John is in here, and he's very, very knowledgeable when it comes to like why you do things. Because there's a lot of stuff he says, I'm just like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot. Yeah, I was thinking about when he said that time that his I don't remember what he said. His mom, his grandma, somebody sent him out through the cornfield. Go play in the cornfield, and it was to pollinate the corn. I remember him talking about that, and I was just like, oh, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I
Yeah.
think, but I do stuff, and I don't know why I do it, other than the fact that it's always been done, or I'll just try it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But then you have the gardeners. Like we was talking about Bull's garden.
Mm-hmm.
That man is a gardener. He knows what he is doing. He knows why he's doing it. So there's definitely a science behind everything. But I can't remember what live it was. We was watching. John was up there and he was talking about the oyster shells and how like crushing them up and putting them in the ground. Basically, it obviously will help later on, but it's not going to help like right now. Which I never thought about how long it would take for those to break down before they actually
Amended your soil.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we got this here.
Oh, you got Hickory Croft. You got everybody.
I was going to say, somebody is trying to get in. Scott? Is it Scott?
Hickory Croft?
Hickory Croft. And, what am I doing?
I'm going to poke Scott in the eye again.
There you go.
We're there, yay! Squeeze in. Oh, there we go.
There
Oh,
you
a full
go.
screen works really nice.
It's nice and
Hello, Hickory
balanced.
Croft.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How is everybody doing?
Yeah,
Good.
fine.
So, Scott, you say you are a gardener. Actually,
Well,
the fancy, he's the gardener.
Gardenier.
How do you actually say that?
it's gardener.
Gardenier.
Gardener.
Gardener.
Gardenier.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty fancy sounding to me.
I could pretend it's French and say jardinier.
Oh boy.
So you're going from fancy to even fancier? Is that what you're saying?
No, the other way, if anything else.
Pete says bone meal is great for root crops. Now, I have done bone meal, but again, I don't know why I do the bone meal other than did you just put it in and my mom has done it. So do you know why you do that, Pete? Like other than it's just good for it. Do you know
Calcium would be a big
Yeah.
thing.
John says, click that comment again to remove it from the screen. Oh, that's how you do it. See,
Or
I
you
am
can click
learning.
a different one.
It worked again.
There goes.
I am learning so much.
Oh,
I
it's
apologize.
fun figuring out all the little tricks.
Yeah, I am so sorry for everybody that is used to going to like actual good lives, and I'm like, yay, I did something.
Other than our one with Lori's World, we've never done the this is 4 people on a screen.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I managed to get it.
I like that. Oh, I did something.
It's a good
I
comment.
like
I was
that.
going to say about the time.
The Bible
That is a big one.
says the most important thing you can add to a garden is your time. That is absolutely.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's true.
You get out what you put in.
Most definitely.
John says, dang, I'm always teaching. You're not even
If it's not teaching growing, it's teaching tech.
Yeah. Every day's a school day.
This is
Yeah, that's a good thing to always be learning something.
Yeah.
There's always something to learn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Well,
right.
I didn't even know how to do live. Like we tried doing it when we were on vacation because I didn't have enough video footage already ready. So I was like, no big deal. We'll just do our first live while we're down there. And I thought it was going to be easy. And evidently I downloaded the wrong app or something didn't work. So complete fail. Jules from Jules Small Gardening reached out.
Mhm.
Hey, come on. How you doing? Thanks. Jules reached out and told me about StreamYard, and he's like, it's real easy, so I went in there and checked it out, and I was like, oh, even I can do this. So we went last week, and that was our first live. And then Lori comes up, and she's like, I'm doing a Techie Tuesday, and I was just like, okay, I'm there.
We're there. Yeah, she cleared the schedule that night.
Yep. Don't care what's happening. We're done. We're going to be at Lori's.
Yeah.
So
Lori knows how to keep everybody on the right track.
Crack that whip.
Exactly.
Hickory Croft, are you gardeners or are you growers?
Probably gardeners.
Probably.
We put a lot of thought into pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, you were saying you think you're more of a grower.
Well, it was kind of one of those funny things because when you started this live, when you said the way you titled, I almost think the other way around, that growers are what you think of as a gardener. And so my mind right away went to, well, we're growers. I mean, we like to grow stuff.
Grow a lot.
But then there is still all that thought that's behind it. So
yeah.
Well, I feel like there's like gardeners, like my version of gardeners, or how I see them is like they know the different strains and they know the different varieties, and they grow for fun, just to know if they could do it, and to
That's me.
as where I'm more along the lines of, well, I don't need it, I ain't growing it, because that's the spot for a tomato.
Yep, that's a place that out there will fill the pantry for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
We're kind of both, because we go into it a little further, I guess, than most people. But then the same thing. It's kind of like you always do that. We could do the experiment, and that would be fun. But like you say, we could just grow more of this that's going to fill the pantry.
Yeah, feed us for the winter.
So it's kind of that balance, I guess. It's probably quite a spectrum.
I grow mostly dahlias for exhibition.
Oh, neat.
So
I
you
do
really
grow some vegetables as well, like that's mostly dahlias I grow. So I'm a bit of a nerd.
That's really neat.
Well, we grow some flowers too.
Yeah.
Some types. Yeah. Not in a big way yet, but
See, he says nitrogen is good for heavy feeders. Oh wait, I'm giving away stickers to the wrong team. and then John, and then John's response: "Knock it off! You're giving too much to the team Aquarius. They're all frogs."
Team Aquarius. Yeah. Team It Won't Grow is in here.
oh, that's too funny.
Well,
5. There's 5 on that team.
Mm.
I think the fun part is
What?
actually to learn from other
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
learned
definitely.
of
It's
You
the
know,
best
just
when
learning from the other people is just like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Half the stuff they say, some of the stuff I actually have been doing for years, but I just didn't know why I did it. Just because,
Mhm.
like the Back to Eden Garden, we're gonna go more that route. Which, I've mulched our garden for years, but I'll just be completely honest. I mulched because I was lazy and didn't want to pull weeds.
That's a good reason to, though.
That's plenty good reason.
That was
Well, I'm all.
that was the whole reason for it, but then watched that documentary of, why you do it, and like the breakdown of it. And it was just like, oh, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's a lot better
That's
than I'm lazy. It sounds better anyway.
That's one thing I always kind of find hard with, because I know exactly what you're saying. Like, you've kind of done it, and these are the reasons why, like the mulch there. But I find it really interesting because there's names and labels for all these techniques that have, like mulch. It's a technique that's been around forever, and there's different, catchy names that go to it. And sometimes we'll hear that and we'll be like, oh, what's that? And then you kind of go look it up, and it's like,
Oh, we do that.
you know what that is. But other people use the jargon, and you're kind of. That's why I guess we're not the hardcore, really nerdy gardeners, because we don't. So it's like the permaculture stuff, right? Love the principles, love the biodynamics and all that sort of stuff, but there's a point where you get it gets a little too heavy on the theory side and the naming and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, when they
That's my
start
thought, anyway.
getting too smart, then I kind of just,
Zone out.
yeah, it's like, nah, 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 nah.
Oh, that's funny.
The one thing that's really, sorry.
Go ahead.
The one thing that's quite neat about the following other people, though, and seeing is because we found this since we started the YouTube and really started watching other gardeners, is we were so set in our one-track mind of how we do things that we gotten to the point that we were complacent and didn't try other stuff.
Mm.
And so it's kind of neat because then you see somebody else and their success with a different method and go, maybe that's not such a bad idea. We should try that.
Yeah, we see, we're kind of in the opposite thing because we've had gardens here and there, and but now we have to move our garden again.
Good.
But and instead of having like we got to move it again, I've kind of changed it and been like, you know what, new garden, new area. We're kind of I'm calling it the spaghetti bowl. When we're throwing it on the refrigerator and we're just going to see what sticks.
What sticks?
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
A video or an idea to see, hey, does this work? Or hey, that, like the hookah culture, whatever, the hookah culture beds.
Yeah.
I've seen people talking about it, but then you never see
The follow-up.
Yeah, there's no follow-up on whether or not it really turned out. So it's like
That's something that happens a lot. I find you start following more when you go back and look at things from a couple of years ago. You do a YouTube search for something specific, and you find somebody that did a really good start. But like you say, then you don't see the end. Which is, it's always hard to find that part of it, but
Yeah.
it's still worth trying it. though, a lot
I
of the
guess-
time.
Well, the one thing, yeah,
I think for me, it's like if I don't see a follow up, I just assume they failed.
Hmm.
So,
I don't know. We show a lot of our fails, so I don't know that.
oh yeah, because we're gonna fail.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some. I've shared my onion story. That was a fail. I mean, that was a complete fail.
I always find onions are kind of finicky, though. Once you figure them out, they're not so bad, but
You know, I watched this one
we
guy,
figured them out.
and he's on. Oh, I can't remember the name of this. I think it's Will It Grow. I think it's that guy. I'm not really sure. But anyway,
Will it won't grow?
yeah, the one grow. Anyway, that guy, he said, "Oh, you just look at these onions. You just broadcast them. You throw it out. You throw some water on it. Throw it on the shelf." And then, you know, he shows it the next whatever it was. I don't remember what it was, like a week later. Hey, look at all the onions growing. I thought, that guy can do it. I can throw some seeds in it. Got this. That's no problem.
Not the first
Not
one.
the first daggone sprout came out of any of it.
So then he was like, I give up.
I'm done.
So he gave up on the onion, and then he decides that, you know, because me and Boo had planted tomatoes and peppers. Well, some of our peppers, they hadn't quite come all the way up, so we was kind of thinking it might not be a good pepper year. So he was like, you know, well, that's what I'm going to try. So he throws a whole bunch of peppers out. He doesn't label them, so we've got.
We're not going to go down the road again. Wait,
I'm going back.
Mystery peppers.
pepper mix.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They froze.
we really
It'll-
haven't-
Let's throw the rack.
Nope.
There we are. Anyway, I put green peppers up against that side, 2 rows, and then the other side I put a row of hot peppers and mild peppers. But then she's asking me a silly question: which side? I said, "Well, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
up
because you
against
know
the
how you
side."
have to turn it because you know they'll start to grow funky. They'll do this, so you turn it so that they'll keep. straight
Yeah.
up.
Oh, go towards the light. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we got mystery peppers all in there. That's that's my.
but we have like 50 some peppers. So
Think how much fun
failed.
that'll be this summer.
he can't grow onions, but we found out he can grow peppers.
I can grow 50 pepper plants. Yeah.
That's pretty good because sometimes
Yeah.
peppers are a bit finicky.
You're going to be making salsa.
Yeah. We like salsa. Let's see. Oh, thanks for responding to the email, Will It Grow. We appreciate it. Haven't looked at it yet.
So my son, he's like the kid can smell when I'm making salsa if he's like across half the state. As soon as I start making salsa, he's
Yeah,
He's
here
on it.
comes. Mom's making
Johnny on the
salsa.
spot.
Mom's
So,
making salsa.
We go on vacation and we needed somebody, you know, to feed the chickens and take care of everything and then water our plants. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know about watering the plants, Mom." And I was like, "It'll be fine." And he was like, "Well, I don't know." And I was like, "Well, if you don't water them, there's no salsa." So,
Plants got watered.
mhm.
Yeah.
Immediately, plant got
There
watered.
you go.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, we got a question.
Got a question.
On the subject of peppers, can I ask a question? You certainly can. I don't know. So surely somebody can answer it.
Yeah.
We can try.
Yeah.
Ask away. Yeah, John, my onions did not. They weren't super easy. Nah. No, I followed it. Just broadcast them out there. Just
No.
throw them out there.
Hold on, because I did make him try again because those failed, and he was pretty defeated.
I was defeated.
So I went and I got more seeds that he complained about because I bought more seeds. But
She has a problem.
I don't have a problem.
She has.
I don't.
There's no such thing as
Not
a
a
seed
problem.
collecting problem.
There is no such thing as seed collecting issues.
I can clearly tell her on your side on this.
Seed hoarding is the one thing that's allowed.
Yeah.
Seed hoarding.
You watch and see. He's going to end up being a seed hoarder. Watch. I guarantee it. But anyway, so I go to town. I end up getting seeds, and he was like so defeated because of his onions. I bought more onion seeds, and guess who's growing onions now?
Oh,
This guy.
yay.
So they're coming up now. The only reason why I know is I saw them yesterday. I looked at them yesterday and I was like, oh, look at that. There's one onion grow. I can grow one onion.
Okay.
Well, that's good
so-
news.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet peppers, the colorful ones. I don't know where I heard all peppers start as green and change color. Is that true? And you harvest when green, or is there a true green pepper?
Oh,
I
that's
know.
a big question.
I know. For
Yeah.
there are
No.
actual green peppers that they're not going to change. They're going to stay green.
Yeah, and not all. Trying to think. I don't know if they all start off. Some of them start off even kind of a bit of a more yellowish color.
Yeah.
Really depends on the variety of the pepper. And some of them even change color more than once. Like they'll, because our little Aurora ones, they kind of start out greeny, then they go
Purple.
purple, and then they go red. So
And see, we've had it go that way where it goes green, red, and then turns like purple. And then we've had it where they kind of start out yellow. But yes, there
Mhm.
is true.
mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a few varieties that they never change color.
I would
For
say-
sure, but
I would say my favorite true green pepper is probably the Cali Wonder. I really like because I like the big
Big.
chunky. Do you guys have a favorite green pepper?
I usually don't like
He hates green peppers.
But we have the one variety we have. What's it? The
feel you,
Tolli's sweet Italian frying peppers, which they eventually go to be a red sweet pepper. I like them green, but they don't taste the same.
Yeah.
As a
Well,
normal green
they
pepper.
start out green and then they go that bright red color as they sweeten up. But even as in the green, they're still quite a sweet pepper.
Mhm.
So he eats those. But otherwise, we don't grow any green peppers.
Not specifically for green peppers.
No.
See, I love green peppers. I'll eat them right out of the garden.
Oh, yeah, it's
I
not
mean
there
them like an
eating them away.
onion as I'm pulling weeds. He won't touch them.
Nope. She put them in the cooking stuff, but other than that, no. What about you,
No.
Lori? Do you got a favorite green pepper?
I just started growing peppers last year. So
So they're
I
always
only, in my bells, I did grow some green peppers, but they were just regular peppers. And I think I had some poblanos from a mystery pepper, and they were quite good. And I grew paprika, but that's red pepper. So, yeah, not yet. I don't have a favorite green one yet.
like
Yes,
yes.
Something to strive towards.
that's
Oh,
right.
there's so many
That's
different
right.
kinds of peppers.
We got a lot of different peppers this year.
I know we got so many different peppers and things in the seed challenge stuff and everything, and it's trying to figure out what can we actually grow.
Well, that's for saving the seeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Too, but
He says he likes
pickled
them
peppers.
Pickled.
You've done that.
Yeah, the pickled ones. Yeah.
Because you pickled the hot peppers.
Oh
before.
yeah, I
They're
love the hot peppers pickled.
Yes.
I want to get enough to do cowboy candy.
good. Mm.
Oh yeah,
Like cowboy candy.
yeah, yeah. Somebody did a video on that, and boy, it looked good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I
Probably do
hear
that
that
with the black
it's
Hungarians.
like
Yeah.
for like cold and flu season.
Yeah.
I
You can see that.
I don't know. That's
We-
another one of those things. That I'm like, I'll try it. Sure, why not?
We grow a lot of the we grow black Hungarian hot peppers. They're kind of like a jalapeno, but they stay black. And we do them and freeze them for jalapeno poppers to eat all winter. So
Yeah, they're good for that.
yeah.
Such a boring gardener grower person because it's like, mine's just plain old green peppers, plain old jalapeno peppers.
Oh, pepperoncinis.
Well, yeah, but pepperoncinis aren't really. I mean, they're kind of a boring.
I don't know. I like them.
I mean, they're
Good.
I like the
Yeah.
jalapeno ones, but we've never had very good success growing them.
No.
When I bought them already started, we've had great harvest. But starting them from seed ourselves and getting them going, we've never had good luck with the
Yeah, we've never seen
jalapenos. That's why we changed to a different type to see if we'd do better. And we did. So there's something, jalapenos don't like us.
What are those jalapenos called that are Noapinos or something like that? They're not really hot.
Oh.
That makes sense.
I'm probably saying everything wrong, but it's something like Noapino or not a pino.
I have not heard. I do not know.
But my
I know,
granddaughter,
I know there is some different varieties of like jalapeno type peppers, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I need to try some of those. Our granddaughter, she doesn't like anything that's like super spicy, but she loves jalapeno poppers. But she'll like the guts out.
Oh, really? Oh no, you just got to pop it all in there and wrap them in bacon.
Yes, bacon.
Oh yeah. that sounds
Everything
yummy.
is so much better with bacon.
Everything.
Oh, that's funny.
Everything does taste better wrapped in bacon.
No, that's not funny. That's true.
It's either bacon or butter. That's what it's got to be.
Or bacon and butter.
That's right.
That also works. Yes,
Bacon cooked in butter.
with maple syrup on top, and we are talking.
You are my kind of people.
We speak the same language.
Get you.
Oh, that's funny.
But we want to be healthy, though. We want to be healthy.
Well, I consider it healthy because we grew it ourselves.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the healthy part.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what we say. If we end up with the milk to make the butter and the pigs for the bacon and the jalapeno and the cheese and whatnot, if we can make all that, it doesn't matter what it does to our arteries because we made it.
That's right.
And
Heck
it,
yeah.
and it won't be
That's
as
one way to look at it.
you know, so it's healthy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with that theory.
Yeah, we're going with it anyway.
Do you guys see that? Never had bacon.
That's
Really?
sad.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
we should stop and pray right now.
Quick, everybody send a pack of bacon.
We have a friend of ours. She had an issue with they wanted to get cows. So they got 2 cows and the cow ended up where they had them at wasn't a good place. So the cow ended up getting hung up in barbed wire because they thought if they could just put like 2 strands of 3 strands of barbed wire that was good enough. And obviously they didn't know any better, so they got hung up and it was a mess. But they ended up, well, they didn't. Somebody else came in and got them, and butchered them and took care of them and stuff like that. But she was just horrified by how it all happened. So she went vegan after that.
Really?
So,
Huh.
Oh yeah.
so now
Oh,
I get
yeah.
to make fun of her, and every time we mow the grass, I'm like, I'll take video of us mowing grass, and when I'm videotaping her, I'm like, hey, look, you want some lunch? Because I can't imagine not having.
Yeah. I mean, don't take that wrong. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that, but I can't imagine not having.
We're carnivores.
Yeah.
We are a big carnivore family.
But
It's
I
also
do.
that thing of you can't grow.
know-
If you live somewhere you could grow year-round vegetables, I think you might eat less meat. It's kind of like when you look at things globally, you've got every parts of the world where people can grow, and they can grow like such a crazy diversity of things.
Yeah.
But we can't do that here.
No.
We try, but
So we supplement with meat.
Right.
And it's just good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good grocery.
On that note, guys, I'm going to say goodbye because I have to go cook dinner.
Okay, thank you so much, Lori. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lori. We do.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me up. Have
Until
a great night,
next
guys.
time,
See you
Have a
later.
good night, Lori.
I will. Bye, Chris, Steph.
bye.
I should have also clarified. Oh, maybe they're going to say this Willow Cove Croft that maybe there's a reason that you hadn't had bacon. So we probably should have asked that. Is there a particular reason you haven't had bacon?
Good question.
Good question.
Because maybe they don't. have
Well,
to-
because some people don't eat pork, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there might be
be
a
some
reason
reasons
for
for
not
that.
having bacon, but you know.
Had a pastor. He wouldn't touch pork.
Nope. Nope.
Wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Nope. He wouldn't.
We're kind of that to that point. It's like we grow so much of our own meat that we don't really buy a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it came from, and
Yeah, the only thing that we really buy is bacon, and our pigs are going to have babies soon, so we will eventually have pork, but
in about 3 months.
That's
3 months to go.
We go this weekend to pick up 2 of ours.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
We're getting pork and beans. We already got them named. Pork and beans.
That's cute, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My granddaughter said, she said, Papa, are we really going to eat those pigs? And I said, yeah. I said, she goes, well, we named them. And I said, yeah, we named them. You know what their name is? I said, good. So after that, every time we had pigs, they had names, but she was like, oh, I can't wait till they get bigger. I want bacon.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually
Totally
funny
on board.
because our daughter did the same thing the last time we grew out the
And she was,
Berkshires.
what, 6, 5?
Yeah, our son was kind of a little bit because we picked them up, and then he kind of realized, because they were
And-
little, right?
Yeah, and they named them Peppa and George after their favorite cartoon.
And then he realized that we're gonna eat them, and she turned around to him and she said, "But you like bacon, right?" He's like, "Yeah." Then of course we're eating them. And she did that on her own.
Yeah, we're eating those. That's good.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
the things we did when is because for her they have to be named. You know, she names chickens, even though she doesn't remember which one's which, they all got a name. So anytime we get something that we know is going to go to freezer camp, we make sure that it gets named a food product. You know,
Mhm.
so like the last ones we had was what was it? Bacon? No. Pork chops and ham hock.
Yeah, ham hock.
So
I
it was
think
pork
of it.
and ham, or
Yeah.
it was chop and ham.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Michael's Adventures. Bacon seeds.
Ooh,
Oh.
Yeah.
I would grow a lot of that.
Bacon seeds is a whole nother level of gardening.
If somebody could figure that out, I will buy them.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Highland Homestead? We're doing good. With the exception of, I don't know, this here, we're waiting for the doctor or the hospital to call to see whether it's broken. He's got to go back in to get a cast. So
Hmm.
Well, I just thought when they took it, I told you right then and there, is it broke or not? I'd never go home and we'll give you a call. I didn't know.
Mhm.
What do I know?
Maybe that's when it gets to like hair fractures and stuff. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. They'll call eventually and tell.
I got to run over. I've got to. I don't mean to be rude. I hate getting but he's gonna keep going.
He.
There you go.
He's going to monitor.
Oh,
No.
here I am. Yeah, I wish we had bacon seeds, Michael Adventure. I mean, I'd be growing. Oh, I got. I know I got 6 acres I could plant bacon seeds.
Can grow a lot of
We
bacon
are-
on
we
6
are super
acres.
Excited. We are super excited about getting pigs, and I'll tell you what, it's been a chore trying to find pigs.
It's the
There's
same
a
up
lot of
here.
people that and I didn't know this until the other day. There's a pig operation that's, I don't know, about 5 miles from us. And last year, because of everything that went on, they dug a big hole and shot them all. They didn't have
Oh,
no place.
wow.
They didn't have
To
no
no
place.
slaughter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but
I heard about that.
yeah,
sort
we
of
are
stuff.
super excited about getting pigs. I mean, we've had a pin put up for a while now, and it's come on, man, where are they at? And then finally got a phone call that, hey, I got pigs. I was like, oh, we'll be there Saturday. Down to see him.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. We're the same thing up here. Like when I was younger, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people had them, and they were pretty easy to get. And it's not the same anymore. And the price to get the piglets keeps going up because there's fewer and fewer people that have them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Around here, last year, a lot of the hog farmers were really hurt with the whole thing that I don't know if you say it or not, but what happened last year?
Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part with pigs too, though, right? Because especially the full size breeds, because when they're ready to go,
They got to
they're
go.
ready to go,
Yeah.
or they will eat you out of house and home. So if you're a big farm like that, like if they can't go,
There
Yeah.
was had to cut their losses, and they lost a lot, and it was a bad deal.
but
Mhm.
even if they held on to them for like another month, the amount that they would
Cost to feed them.
would have been would be astronomical
Right.
for the number that those big farms raise.
Well, that's what we found. We had 2 Berkshire pigs that we raised out a couple years ago, and when we called the butcher to book them in, that of course the butchers were so backlogged that we had to hold on to them for an extra 2 months. So they were 450 pounds when we finally got them into the
That
butcher.
was hanging weight.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it was just, I mean, we were lucky it was apple season. We were those people, with their truck with the buckets in the
Drove
back,
around.
and we just drove around, and anywhere there was wild apples, we just picked buckets and buckets to feed the pigs, because otherwise it would have cost us like crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's completely smart. I mean, we took in, I think there was a truck, a grain truck flipped over down the road. Well, they took a Bobcat out there and picked up the majority of it, but they left the rest of it. So, I mean, I was down there with
Yeah.
5-gallon buckets. I'm down there with trash cans. I'm scooping it
Oh,
all
for
up,
sure.
Yeah.
all home. Yeah.
Good little bonus.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually.
because the vendors couldn't take it because it would be a chance to contaminate their dry corn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they couldn't take
Yeah.
the chance if it had already touched or even had the chance of touching the ground. So
Yeah.
it's
That
like,
makes sense for a bigger.
Well, like you say, that's kind of a good win for you guys
Yeah.
at the
for them.
time.
Have a bad day for them,
Yeah.
but it
Mhm.
worked well for us. I mean, I don't know. And we cleaned up the neighborhood. Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
happy everybody got to use it because otherwise it just lays there and rots, and
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
were there's some use out of it.
Yeah. I see Willowcroft there saying there's 75 to 125 there, which is about what, well, we're Canadian, so it's about 100 to 140 here, which would be about the same.
Highland says that's why they butcher their own.
Yeah.
That's what we're finding.
Yeah, we've had to basically, well, our problem is we wanted to be able to sell the meat, and you can't sell it if you butcher your own. But
Where we are.
it was a case of it wasn't worth it to wait. We're just doing it ourselves and
It's the same.
buy another
here.
freezer if we have to.
Oh yeah.
We've done. I mean, we've had to do a deer. When he's got a deer before, and you
Mhm.
couldn't, because like in our area, if that meat market has committed to doing hogs, they're not allowed to do deer.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're the same here.
So nobody around here, there was only like 2 places that were processing deer, and obviously the spots were already gone, and
Yeah.
It makes a late night in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we do? We've done 5.
We did. Well, ours were sheep, but we did 5 this in March.
That's work.
So Yeah,
I mean, that
and
worked.
it was one of those. It was kind of the first one was a little tough going, and then after you got, by the time we're on the fifth one, we're pretty much pros now.
I don't know if I go quite that
Well,
far.
okay, maybe
but
not, but in our own version, pros.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was a lot of work, but to be honest with you, I would rather do that than chickens. I hate butchering chickens. That smell.
We've
Like-
got one rooster we've got to do, one extra rooster we've got to do this
Yeah.
weekend. It's starting to cause problems. But
being a
Go
jerk
over-
rooster.
well, and he was a late batch because we had some, they hatched them out. It was the 1st of November. So we've had him a lot longer than you normally would, but there was only two males in the batch. And it's great that we got all the hens, but he's a jerk. I'll just leave it at that. So he's going to go.
Yeah.
But
He's not required either.
no, we don't need him, but he's big enough now. So
His services aren't needed. Yeah,
Got
but
more than you do. You're out.
yeah.
oh.
On that note, we should probably go because we have to go and finish some chores.
Yeah, we got to finish him up.
You've distracted us nicely from it.
We should probably do because we're waiting for that phone call to see if we go back. And I don't want to get the phone call in the middle of a live and be like, "Oh, gotta go."
Gotta go.
Yeah, but that's a good reason to have to cut it short. Be like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, gone.
See ya.
Yeah,
But,
that's hey, we gotta go to the hospital. Bye, guys.
it's a very good reason there. So, but anyways, we're glad we were able to come up and glad we were in to catch your live. We're not always in at the right times, but it's good to catch people when you can.
Thank you for being guinea pigs and coming up. And
We
No,
appreciate
no
it.
problem at all.
No, it was great fun and good chatting.
you too. Thanks.
Thank
You guys
you.
have a good night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
too.
too.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody in chat.
Yeah. Let's here.
Now we'll see if I can figure out how to stop it.
But Pete, I just want to tell you, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. You know, I want a good report too.
And Pete's getting a good report too.
Yeah, Pete's going to get a good report too.
Yep.
And but yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate every single one of you that came out tonight. And
Yeah, it was our second live, and go check out Lori's World. She can teach you how to do live. She taught Angie how to do it, so we
if
appreciate
she can
it.
teach me, she can.
Thank you,
teach me.
Willow Cove. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Highland Homestead, we appreciate it.
Michael's. Oh, yeah, everybody.
Michael's Adventures, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Pete, thanks, brother. And you are going to get a good report. You are.
Believe that.
Yep.
Bye all.
Take care.